Welcome to Steel City Standard. It's your boy Joe here with Griffin Proctor with Pack to Packer Podcast. Here we got a good one today for you guys. We got a little bit of defense. Really, we got mostly defense. Then we'll talk a little bit about offense. So we're really gonna start with the offense first here, and specifically about the offense. We wanted to highlight one of the most prolific upcoming tight ends in the NFL. One of the guys who he's always for being such a big guy, he's always been under the radar. He's always been underneath somebody. He's always been the guy that goes unnoticed for being such a big guy. And today I'm going to talk about Darnell Washington. Ladies and gentlemen, Darnell Washington is 24 years old. He just got a Steelers extension a couple weeks ago to be with the Steelers for another 3 years, I believe, or 4 years.
What's that money looking like?
Ooh, Griff, I don't know off the top of my head. You want to look it up for me? I appreciate you. So while Griffin's doing that, I'm going to let you know a little bit about Darnell. Darnell is 6'7". When you think about a prolific tight end, when you think about create a player, when you go and create a player, what kind of tight end do you want to have? Or what kind of tight end can you create? A cheat code? That's who Darnell Washington is. 6'7". Right now, I think he's probably sitting at around 290, 300 pounds. But I think when he first came into the league, and even before the league, he was backing up Brock Bowers, who we all know is likely the best tight end in the league right now, you could say. But when he came to the league, backing up a couple other tight ends with the Steelers. And I think as the season kind of unfolds and upcoming seasons unfold as well, I think we're going to find out that he's going to be one of the best tight ends in the league. Fun fact, actually, Griff, he's actually faster, or in the combine, he ran a faster 40 than Tucker Kraft. Fun fact, Griff. When you think about the best blocking tight end in the league, there's really no question. I know we said here last week we talked about who the best blocking tight end is in the league. We should George Kittle. But really, Griff, the best blocking tight end in the league is Darnell Washington. And there's no ifs, ands, about it. Okay? And then one of the things, yes, he probably has to excel a little bit at is catching the ball and things of that nature, but he has soft hands, Griff. Last year, you talk about Aaron Rodgers, he needs to be comfortable with his wide receivers and things of that nature. I was watching the Colts game against the Steelers last year. You talk about the smallest pockets you can put he was putting a football through a Ziploc bag, Griff. Putting a football through a zipper, Griff. Straight to Darnell. I'm talking about the smallest windows you can think of, Griff. I'm going to have to put a clip on this for this. And he was so comfortable with them. So he's big enough. He's 6'7". No one else is that big. He's a mismatch no matter who you put on him. A linebacker, safety, don't matter. No one's 6'5". No one's 6'4", really. Like, your biggest, probably 6'3" is probably your biggest competition, really, if you're going to talk about it. Going to put a corner on him? Doesn't matter. Linebacker, doesn't matter. Safety, doesn't matter. Are you going to run the ball? Who's going to block for you? He's going to block for you. Jump balls, he's the guy. What we've seen in terms of his progress within these first 3 years is something that really I gotta say, the Steelers have done a really bad job of making him a focal point within the offense, because I think he's that kind of dominant player. I think if I had to compare him, Griff, quite honestly, and I think this is it's a pretty far comparison, because I don't think there's an organization that'll ever be like this team, or a quarterback and tight end that'll ever be like this ever again. But he is the modern day Gronk. That's Gronk right there. He's bigger than Gronk, actually. He's probably faster than Gronk too. But I think if a team was to focus on him and have a quarterback if there was such a thing as a duo like they had before, like a tight end and a quarterback duo like Tom Brady that he had with Gronk, Darnell is a guy like that. I think he's a guy like that. So, under 25, going into his fourth year. I think Pat Frymuth is not coming back next year, if I'm correct. So I don't think he's coming back. You should see Darnell starting. I think we do see a drastic improvement in his play, how much he plays. I think he's so dominant. He's hard to tackle, Griff. He really is. I mean, did you see my last highlight tape I put out? The guy's hard to tackle. And at that height, at that size, you should not be hurling guys. You should not be trying to hurdle people at all, or stiff-arming people. But he's so hard to tackle. Now, he might not give you what Tucker Kraft gives you in terms of vertical speed or deep down catches and things of that nature, but can he take a 10 to a 20? Can he put a 20 to a 40? You better believe it, because the first guy's not going to tackle him. The second guy might slow him down. Sure as hell ain't going to tackle him, but the third guy, all three of them, they'll get him down. So Darnell Washington, when you talk about building a player, building a tight end, who you want as a tight end, I don't think he gets any better than that. I think we've done a we've done a miss in terms of how we've used him, because last year we even brought in Jonnu Smith. I'm sorry I'm going on this, Griff, but we even brought in Jonnu Smith, which is so stupid. But again, I don't know what Arthur Smith was thinking. I don't know what Tomlin was thinking. However, we brought in another tight end. We even put him down in the depth chart. We didn't help the situation, even though he still played pretty good compared to the year before that. So, we haven't done our due diligence in making him and exposing him and letting him really play. So I think that being that, a new offense, that relationship with Aaron Rodgers, I can truly say that he's going to progress more and more as the season goes by and as more seasons come by, because we've already extended him. And I think he's truly going to be the best tight end by the next 2 years in the NFL, quite honestly.
Best tight end in the NFL. By the way, 4 years, 42 million. But yep. Best tight end in the NFL. So you're saying he's going to be better. So he's going to be better than Brock Bowers. He's going to be better than Tucker Kraft. He's going to be better than Sam Laporta. He's going to be better than Colson Loveland.
Yeah, he's going to be up. Yes, I think so.
But I'm not sure what evidence there is of that. Like that. Like what are we talking about?
What do you mean? What are we talking about?
What shows you that he's going to be the best tight end in the league? Like,
have you seen him blocking?
Yeah.
Have you seen how dominant he is when he blocks?
There's a lot of tight ends that are great. I mean, Mercedes Lewis was
not like him.
One of the best blocking tight ends in the league for 20 years.
Not like him, Griff. Not like him. They wasn't talking about in practice. We gotta we can't let him go against T.J. Watt because he's dominating against T.J. Watt. And I'm looking at his highlights today. He put butter on Nick Bosa. Like, a pancake's not even good enough. He put butter on that pancake, Griff, on Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa was on one knee looking at his sideline. Like, damn.
But when you talk about
when we talk about blocking, Griff, there's no question about that.
When you talk about the best tight ends in the league, they're like a legit receiving threat. Like, nobody considers the best blocking tight end in the league the best tight end in the league.
Right. But to be the best tight end in the league, what's a complete tight end then? You have to be the best.
A complete tight end is you're really good at blocking, you're really good at catching. But we haven't seen enough of him receiving to say that this guy is legit. Like, yes, he's hard to tackle because he's a mammoth.
Fair, but he also catches the ball just as good as any other tight end I've seen. Quite honestly,
I mean, don't look like it. If his receiving,
have you seen him?
Aren't that good?
Well, again, like I said, he's always been behind somebody.
Exactly. So if he's as good as you think he is, why is he behind people?
Griff, I don't make the rules. I don't coach these guys. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you about these guys. I don't know what to tell you.
What year is he in right now?
He's in year 3.
He's in he's heading into year 3 or into year 4?
Heading into year 4.
So he's heading into year 4. You should have
no. What's Brock heading into?
I think 3.
Okay, same then. Year 3.
I don't know, Joe. I think that's a stretch. Obviously, he's bigger than everybody. I mean, that's clear. But I think to say that this dude is going to be the best tight end in the league, I feel like we just haven't seen that.
You're right. We haven't. But it's there.
We haven't even really seen like a glimpse of it. Like, we've seen plays, but
what are those? Are those not glimpses?
Milton made some plays.
Are those not glimpses? No, come on. That's different. That's the whole thing. Come on. But you've seen glimpses. I'm literally telling you, there's been games where, like, he's been the focal point for Aaron Rodgers as a receiver. He's catching 10. He's not catching 10, but he's catching maybe 7 balls a game, six balls a game, things of that nature. As a number 2 tight end, Griff.
And I mean,
I'm just saying, Griff. Because we drafted Freiermuth as like in the second round, and we. Again, I don't think he's not getting an extension, and he obviously seniority. Obviously, I don't know. The Steelers are weird in that sense. Griff. I don't know what to tell you.
4 yards. What am I do with that?
On 31 catches.
Yeah, what am I to do with that?
Griff, give him the opportunity. He's averaging literally 11 yards to catch. That's a first down every time he catches.
I mean,
what's Tucker? Okay, that's a wide receiver. What's Tucker Kraft? Stop.
I mean, let me look it up real quick. But I'm just looking at his game log real quick, Darnell Washington, and trying to see. Of course, it's frozen. I'm trying to see when he had like a big game. Which, I mean, you said the Jets. What did you say?
He hasn't had like a crazy ass.
You said the Colts. I mean, that was 43 yards. I mean, to say that he's going to be the best tight end in the league. Let me. You brought up Tucker. So let's just go to. Let me just go to
Tucker. Is the number 1 tight end on your team
now. I mean, he had to earn that, but
yeah, against who? Lucas Musgrave?
I mean, he was drafted before him in the same draft, so obviously they're going to give him more opportunity. But yeah, Tucker was 15 yards per catch, Joe. 15.3.
Yes, as a starting tight end. I'm telling you, Griff.
Well,
Let
Joe,
him start. He's going to be a number. He's going to be a number one tight end.
1 second, Joe. Averages has nothing to do with starting or not starting. That has to do with when you catch it, what you do with it. So that has nothing to do with starting or not starting. That's when he catches it, what happens. Tucker Kraft is better. First of all, let me just start there because he pissed me off just by saying that. And I think what's his name? Darnell. His biggest game was, I think, like 67 yards. Tucker Kraft had on Pittsburgh, by the way, 143 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Again, Darnell is not the starting tight end on my team.
But
let him be. He's let him be the starting tight end on your.
He's not a starter, and you're saying that he's going to be the best in the league. But
he is going to be the best in the league.
Okay,
he's going to be the best in the league. Trust.
Okay.
Trust.
I mean, again, he's got the size to do it. I mean,
size. He got the strength. He's got it all. What doesn't he have in his? What does he not have in his bag of tools that won't make him the best?
Receiving threat probably can't get open.
Why not?
I don't know what his issue is, but I assume that's what it is.
Why would that be an issue when I just told you what he? I don't know how that would be an issue, Griff. I don't know what to tell you. He ran faster than Tucker Kraft, so how would that be an issue?
It's clearly an issue when he's not getting any catches. He's not getting any yards.
Like I said,
so something's an issue. If he was perfect, he'd be getting some targets. He'd be starting. Like
I said,
something's going on.
Like I told you, Griff, Pat Freiermuth is a starter.
If the Steelers genuinely believed this guy is the best tight end in the league, he would be starting.
Well, that's why they extended him, Griff.
I mean,
just telling you the truth.
Could be. I mean, or they just want to use him for his blocking.
No, he had 10 less catches than our starting tight end, Pat. So just watch. Let him start. Okay. Give him a chance to start, Griff. There's really no reason why he won't be the number one tight end. Comp comparison, Gronk. Just bigger, stronger. I don't even know what Gronk's 40 was. Doesn't even matter.
But Gronk definitely was a better receiver. So
was he?
Yes.
If he was slower, then how is he going to be? We'll see.
Yo, the speed. Jerry Rice was slow. Jerry Rice ran a 4.6, I think.
Yes.
Slow as dirt. But he's got the best receiver numbers of all time.
And I'm telling you,
the speed doesn't mean you're better. There's a lot of John Ross. John Ross was pretty fast, wasn't he? Where's he at?
4.68 actually. So they had the same kind of speed. So yeah, give him a chance, Griff. They extended him for a reason. Give him a chance.
Where's John Ross at, Joe? You want to talk about some speed?
Hey, that's not. Hey, come on, Griff. But yeah, fun fact: he did run a faster 40 than Tucker Kraft. So
and Tucker Kraft's still better.
For a little bit. We'll see, Griff. We'll see.
I already saw.
We shall see. No, you have not. I promise you.
Okay.
All right. So shifting on. Talk a little bit about defense here. I don't know how to say this, Griff. We have the best defense in the league. There's a lot of best. There's a lot of number ones right now.
What's this based on?
But we have the best defense in the league.
Based on what?
Let me explain why.
I would love to hear it.
Depth. We have a lot of depth everywhere and at every position. You want to go D tackles? I'm not gonna go through the whole line or anything like that. But our defense on paper is one of the best. Not only did we get better from last year, but as you would expect, our players from last year have only gotten better. So our D line is so deep. Edges are so deep. Corners and secondary is so deep. It's really hard to pinpoint what flaws in terms of where we need to really improve. 100% we could talk linebackers, and I'm going to get into that in a second here. However, what I need people to understand is our defense is definitely one of those kind of defenses. You know, when you look at the Texans, when you look at the Rams, when you look at those kind of defenses, I think that it is with respect that we'll put the Steelers in the same kind of breath with those kind of defenses going to 2026. Like I said, I think we have top 10 players at every position on defense, quite honestly. Maybe not excluding linebackers, but we'll talk about that in a second, as I said. But I really do think that what we should expect from my defense is to be really dominant. I think what we saw last year was really poor execution from our coaches, pure execution from the players. Again, it's hard to have a good defense and to have a productive defense when your defense is always on the field. especially when your offense isn't being productive. So for something like that to work as a well-oiled machine, both things have to be firing. Both cylinders have to be firing is what I should say. So expect our offense to complement our defense really, really well this year, and expect our defense to be really refreshed. Expect our defense to be hitting heavy. Expect our defense to go out there and play like a top 10, like a top 5 defense. Because
Wait,
I
is it
think
top 5 or is it the best?
actually expect them to play like the best defense in the NFL, because they are. They really are. So let's talk linebackers a little bit. I think if you were to pinpoint a flaw within our defense, I think it would be linebackers. Sure, it's rightfully so that we can say that Peyton Wilson and Patrick Queen have not panned out to be who they were within the Terrell Austin defenses, but like I said, it's a new season, and we've totally revamped our coaching and our defensive coaching. So let me take you guys through a little bit of history so that you guys get to understand how bad the coaching was prior to what we have now. So there's been a lot of conversations from previous players that were with the Steelers that were on the defensive side of the team, and they all kind of explained that there was a lot of, how do I say this? The mindset within the defense was like our linebackers were basically they made all the plays, like everything ran through the linebackers essentially, and that goes through our edges like with T.J. Watt, Highsmith, and our linebackers, wherever those would be, and that's how essentially how our defense has always been played, and that I guess from what I've been told and heard has been a reason as to why that's been a reason to why some of our defenses have been really bad. So, and why I'm saying these is to tell you a couple stories about a couple players and why I say what I say. We once had Robert Spillane on our defense. Robert Spillane is a middle linebacker for the Patriots. He went to the Super Bowl last year. Robert Spillane played 4 years with the Steelers. Within those 4 years, didn't do jack shit. Left after 4 years, went to the Raiders. With the Raiders, he was a top linebacker. I remember this was the time when the Raiders were kicking. This was maybe 4 years ago. This is when the Raiders were, I think, one of the better defenses, actually. This is when Max was kind of going off too. Nate Hobbs was kind of going off. There was a couple other players who actually got long-term deals with other teams during this kind of run that the Raiders had. Fun fact, that defensive coordinator that the Raiders had at the time is the defensive coordinator we have now. So let me tell you the story. So he goes to the Raiders, does 2 years over there. Now he's with the Patriots. He's just went to the Super Bowl. Okay. Another guy, another linebacker, Devin Bush, gets drafted, I think 10 or 15 or something, by the Steelers as a middle linebacker. Supposed to be the replacement to Ryan Shazier. Before we even talk about him, after Ryan Shazier, we have never had a linebacker as good as him. But nonetheless, he was supposed to replace Ryan Shazier. Comes in, does his 4 years or 3 years, doesn't pan out. That's another middle linebacker who was great. And I think he goes somewhere else. And now I think he's on the Bears. I think it's just signed a 4-year or 3-year extension or something like that.
He was on Cleveland before.
He's on Cleveland,
Bears, but yeah.
And goes and now he's playing better again. Now let me tell you, Patrick Queen came from the Ravens, exceptional linebacker, dual linebacker, Roquan Smith. Performance and everything else when it comes to the Steelers goes down. I guess everything goes down while he was playing for Terrell Austin's defense. And then you add on Peyton Wilson, Buckus award-winning linebacker. What does that mean? I already told you this already. That means he was anonymously or undisputedly the best linebacker in college coming out of school. Production, performance all go down. Same defense, same players. Do you get to see the trouble? Do you get to see what I'm kind of pinpointing to? So let's kind of go back to who we have as a defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham was able to take Robert Spillane and make him to who he is now. And he was able to take that Raiders defense, who really, no matter how you look at it, their defense on paper has never been good. On paper, they've never had stars on every level of their defense. Now he's coming over to a defense like ours. I expect our linebackers to be a top linebacker duo because they are, in terms of maybe how they run the schemes, is going to be maybe a lot easier for them because, as you can see, there's been a lot of progression from those that have left the Steelers and gone to different defenses and been able to really be productive under different schemes, which I think was a problem within the defense we had last year with Austin. So I expect Peyton to have a really good year. I expect Queen to have a real good year. And I think overall, if they do with what we have in regards to the whole defense, I don't see why we don't have the best defense in the NFL. Any questions?
Well, I guess my issue is just because of how bad they played last year. But you are saying all that is fixed because of the coaches and the scheme. Is it the same like front? Is it like
It's different what I've been told. Again, one of the other things too that seems to have changed. I was listening to like a TJ Watt interview. He was saying like I'm having to learn both sides of the line, so I'm having to learn to play my natural position, which is whatever is a right end or whatever, or right edge or left edge,
plays on
whichever
the
one he
left?
plays.
Plays on the
Yeah,
left.
left. But he's also now having to rush from the opposite end too. So, and I was looking at, I even went back and looked at the Raiders. I even went back and looked at the Raiders defensive highlights from the years that they were like really good. And it seems like they do a lot of bear fronts too, in terms of like when teams come out on like run heavy sets, they do a lot of bear fronts. So you see a lot of 3D tackles and edges, and then you have 2 linebackers or whatever. So I think it's a little bit different. It's a lot of like the Patriots' old defense as well, because that's where it comes from. So I do think it's going to be a little different in that sense, but still 3-4 defense, as we know.
I will say this. I do like your interior D line, which is kind of where it all starts.
Bless
Thank you. Yeah, I do like your interior. I should have done the Quinn Williams. Bless you. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I do like the interior D line, which is where it all starts. You guys are really solid there, so you definitely have a chance to be good. But it's just hard to see when you were so bad last season.
Makes sense.
Bless you. Thank you.
It's hard to I get that. I do get that, but I do think that, like I said, you go back and you see some of those games like the Bills literally ran the same play on us multiple times, like that's got to be a coaching thing. Why can we not make adjustments to that? And then like there's many instances within last year, including the game against the Packers, where we were up again halftime and we just could not make the adjustments we needed to stay either aggressive or whatever the case may be, to get Tucker Kraft out of all people to go out and put 140 yards on us. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. Not to say he's not a good tight end, but I'm just saying, like, why could we not make the appropriate? So, like, again, I expect to see Joey travel if that's the case. Like, if I'm a new defense, I want to put Joey on everybody. I want to make him travel. I want to
put him on Tucker.
like,
I tell you that.
That's easy money. We'll put Jalen on that. That's easy money right there. But nonetheless, like, I expect to see a lot of different minor changes, which will result in pretty major improvements within the defense.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I get what you're coming from. You guys have names. You guys got.
we do.
I mean, it would have been nice
everywhere.
if you still had Minka. Would have been nice if you still had Minka, but
Sure. Yeah. I like Jaquan Brisker. I like Elliott. I like, if I want to put Ramsey back there. Brisker's he's a dude. And then I love that we're matching him back up. We're pairing him back up with Joey, 2 Penn State guys. I love that. I love that a lot. And then Ramsey's like, who else would you rather have as your like lurker or joker, if you want to call him that, on a defense like that? A guy where he doesn't have to be a corner, he doesn't have to come in and be a nickelback either. He can kind of come in and play wherever we kind of please and need him to play, because he's a great tackler, plays great in the box, and coverage is still kind of there for the most part. I guess tight ends, I think I'm very comfortable against any tight end in the league, honestly. So, I think, and then like, okay, God forbid Hayward goes down, or God forbid Ramsey goes down. Asante Samuel, who was a number 1 pick, not a number 1 pick, but he was a first round pick for the Chargers as a corner. His dad played in the NFL, and then he had a neck injury. Like, this guy is a hell of a corner, honestly. He just had a pretty bad injury and people forgot about him. But him being our number 3 corner, like that's awesome. That's good stuff right there. And I don't know. I think as a defensive coordinator, if I'm Patrick Graham, I'm licking my chops, because I'm like, this is the most toys I've ever had to work with. You can be as creative as you can, as long as we can do the small things right and we can do the basic things right. So we'll see. But I'm truly excited. We have the most coaches on defense we've ever had too. And I'm just excited to see how it all plans out. It's a fun fact too. We have our new edge coach is the same coach that coached David Bailey in that Texas Tech defense. So again, really good names in terms of who we have as coaches.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not possible to be the Steelers should be the best defense, but got some work to do.
We do, but I'm excited for it. And I was thinking about this earlier as I was waiting for the podcast to start. I was like, imagine this being the year. Last year, sure, it sounded like it. We had 2 guys that were like, Mike Tomlin, there were rumors that, he might be leaving last year before the season started. And we also knew that, Aaron might be just on a one last, on a 1 year kind of thing. So we thought last year was it. And it's not like there's not teams that have not done this before. The Broncos went out and did this. The fucking Bucks went out and did this. They went out and got a quarterback in 2 years. They both won a Super Bowl. An old vet too at that. So this is one of those like I was again, there's rankings. They got us number 3 in our fucking division to win the division. Minus was a plus 500.
That sounds right.
That is so disrespectful. It is what it is. It's funny. It's funny. It truly is funny.
It was accurate to me.
We were sitting like this last year, Griff, talking about not even thinking about the Seahawks. Remember? Nobody was talking about the Seahawks last year.
I ain't talking about them this year either.
We ain't either, but God forbid they make it back to the Super Bowl.
No, not happening.
Come on now.
Not as long as
I'm saying, let them sleep. Let them sleep on us. And then in conclusion, let's not forget. Last year, TJ Watt.
What do we forget?
You guys keep disrespecting. The disrespect is just so crazy. TJ Watt last year had a freak accident, as you guys saw or heard. You remember? Lung accident, got punctured in the lung or something like that. I mean, was he supposed to come out and give us 20 fucking sacks? No, was he not? No, he wasn't. I'm sure the recovery and everything else that came after finding out that you got stabbed in the lung, I mean, I'm sure that was a crazy thing in itself. So I'm here to say TJ Watt in 2026 is going to reign supreme within all the edges. I think they'll rank him number 6. I think he's going to be number 2. By the end of the year, next year, he's going to be top 2 in the league again. You guys continue to disrespect him, and I think that's really disrespectful. I think Miles had a great year last year, but I don't think he replicates that. I don't think we'll see him do 20 sacks this year. I think, how do I say this, Griff? Sure, Miles got 20-something sacks last year.
23.
When you think of 23 sacks last year, but when you think about a complete edge rusher, TJ Watt's the best complete edge rusher. Miles has never had a pick.
Here you go with the intercept.
Yeah, no, I'm there.
It's not an edge's job,
what do you mean it's not an edge's job?
It's not an edge's job to get picks.
Well, he got them.
That's a good for him, but that's not. When you're looking for an edge, you're not looking for an edge that could get a pick. That's not what you're
looking. I think what we're going to see from TJ next year is going to be someone who's a closer. So someone who's going to be, coming in clutch for us in terms of some of those close games for us.
Which is what he's been in the past, for sure.
Yes, basically.
I used to hate. I'm like, can we put 2 people on this dude?
Hell yeah. And I think that it's going to be even more. I think it's going to be, you're going to see it more now because very often in those third and longs, you might see us run out Hayward, Highsmith, Herbig, and TJ. So 3 edges out there and play some games within that line. And I think it's gonna be really hard to also like I said, they're shifting him around. So he's not only playing just left edge, he's going up to right edge and things of that nature within that line. So I think it is going to be really hard to double him, and I think it's going to be a good year for him. I really do. He's already a really great run defender. And I think he's the best sack fumble guy in the league as well. Probably has the most in terms of sacks leading to fumbles, and I think we get to see a lot of those again. I think he reigned supreme over everybody else this year. What is he, 33, 32? I think this would be the year to do it as kind of his last ride too. If he goes out there and goes crazy, hang up the cleats, call it. Because I don't see why not. But I think we see him as, fuck it, Griff, I think we see him as a top 2 edge next year for sure. Especially because Mike is now going to be coming back into week 6.
Well,
so for sure.
You're gonna see, well, here's the thing. Once Micah comes back, you're going to know what's going on. But yeah, no, Joe, I think, to be honest with you, I think TJ is on the other side of the hill. He's going, he reached the peak and now he's on his way back down the mountain.
As much as I don't want to believe that, Hayward is still 37 and kicking hard. So,
That's true.
You can't say there's not a little bit of juice left in there.
They were still doing his thing at the ripe age of 56. So
exactly.
He's doing his thing, but yeah, that's pretty rare. So
it is rare. It is. Yeah. But again, like I said, we're not going to see someone get 23 sacks, let alone 22 sacks, let alone 20 sacks next year. I don't think.
Give it 2 seasons. We'll see somebody 24.
It won't be okay. Good luck.
Plays over.
It won't be Micah. It won't be Micah. It won't be Micah. I promise you that. You gonna get 14 and a half, like you've always done, Griff.
He might get 14 and a half next season with the 10 to 8 to 10 games he plays.
But let me see. When's the last time he had 18 sacks or something like TJ?
TJ, I think he had
When's the last time he
14.
had a
I think he had
good?
14 the year before. I think he had 7 last season, then 14 the year before, and then so it must have been the year before, so 3 seasons ago.
Hmm.
I think you could double check.
31. Oh, okay. He's actually a little younger than I expected.
Let me see if I was right. Do I know TJ or what? Let me see.
He had 7 last year, 11 and a half the year
Oh,
before,
11.5, okay.
and 19 in 23.
Okay. Well, I mean, the number was a little off, but I had the idea was there.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I know. I might know TJ better than you, Joe.
Hey, come on. And every time he's had a single digit sack season, he's always had a double digit sack season the year after. So,
Okay. Well, Micah
hey,
only has
we'll
double
see.
digits, but
We'll see. But I'm excited, guys. I'm really excited to see how this defense pans out. I'm really excited to see them at the fullest of powers. And it's going to be crazy to finish this all off. It's going to be crazy to see like the switch, like week 4, we're sitting there probably 4-0 or 3-1, and we finally have that switch, because you've always like, imagine you've gone to work every day for the last 10 years and it's been the same head coach or same voice that you've heard every time. It's hard to have a new voice come in and make a change. So imagine week 4 and we're sitting there at 3-1 or 4-0, and that voice that Mike McCarthy's been ticking at in your ear, or that voice that Patrick Graham has been ticking at your ear, talking about, or even Aaron Rodgers. Hey, last ride, he's been slinging it crazy for the first 4 weeks. You're sitting there as Cam Hayward going, hey, last year we really did fuck it up for Tomlin. But this year, can we really do running it up for Aaron Rodgers his last year? Defense is playing great. We're 4-3-1. Aaron's playing great. Offense is putting up pretty good numbers. I see what Mike's saying. I see what Patrick is saying. We can really do this thing. So that voice is only going to get louder and louder and louder as the season goes by. As we get to 12-5 or 13-4 or hell, even 15-2. So we'll see how we do. We'll see how we do, Griff. I'm fully expecting us to be one of the best teams in the NFL. Fuck you, ESPN. Fuck you, ESPN. You piece of shit. You fuckers. Fuck everyone who says that we're third in the fucking rankings. Fuck everybody who thinks that the Steelers are ass. I don't get it. I really don't. And I hope fucking DK punches somebody in the fucking face. I hope Ramsey punches somebody in the fucking face. I hope fucking Cam Hayward gets in Josh Allen's fucking face again. And I hope that we fucking break Joe Burrow and fucking Lamar's knees again. I'm ready. I'm taking everybody's fucking ankles. And I hope we fucking get Jordan Love in the preseason game and we get to fucking sideline him for the rest of the fucking regular season. Well, I hope that we fucking ramp him in the sideline and he doesn't get to see the field for the rest of the season. I hope that everybody. I hate it.
If Jordan Love got injured on the sideline from one of the Steelers players, I'd probably drive over to your house and fuck you.
We'd have to fight, Griff. We'd have to fight.
Yeah, no. But yeah, Joe, I don't know about that. You talking about 4-0.
Easy.
Falcons, Patriots, Bengals, Browns. I don't know about no 4-0. Maybe 2-2.
Easy. Guarantee easy, Griff.
Okay, we'll see.
Easy.
We'll see. Only time will tell. Steelers do like to start. They're like the opposite of the Bengals. Bengals start terrible and then end hot. Steelers start hot and terrible.
That's true. That is true. But I don't know. Why not us? Truly, why not us?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know,
we got less reasons than a lot of these top 5 teams that we're talking about, excluding the Packers.
No, you don't.
But thank you guys. Any more comments, questions, Chris?
I think I'm all good, Joe.
All right, so I need to click this part. Please like and follow. Okay. I think that's what I got to do. I think after every TikTok, I'm going to put, please like and follow, because I need my followers to get up or something. I got to find something to do with my followers. Anyways, please like and follow, guys. Please follow us on TikTok, on Steel City Standard. Please follow us on YouTube, on Instagram. And we will be opening up Apple Podcasts, I should say, and Spotify this week. So try to find us there. We're trying to spread the love, spread the word about the good old Steelers here, the best defense and best offense in the league. So again, thank you, Griffin. Hey, what we're talking about next year? I mean, what we're talking about next week now? We got the best tight end. Talk about how we got the best O-line, but we'll talk about next week. But nonetheless, follow us everywhere. If you have any comments, feedback, send it over. We love it. We love it all. Anything else, Griff?
I'm all good, Joe.
Peace. Thank you, guys. Stop.